At the outmost, I would like to thank the organizers for giving us this opportunity. I'm from Indraprastha Apollo Hospital and I work under Dr. Arun Prasad. He just was called on emergency surgery, so I'll be presenting on his behalf. Before starting off, we did the robotic and the laparoscopic sleeve today. So, continuing in that fashion, we'll be talking about a robotic thymectomy. This is boss. He likes to take his photographs almost every day. He goes to the robotic OT. So the first thing, why use a robot to do a thymectomy? Now most of the people are actually very confused about the robot having so many controls. Now see, it's got 4 controls by the hand. It's got 3 controls by the foot and 3 places to look. The one place being the assistant himself, the assistant having on the television, and also in the monitor. And he also prefers to chat while doing all this and have his coffee also. Now this is a familiar scene you might have seen. This is a photograph I took in Bangkok. This driver was actually operating on 7 different mobile phones while driving a car. Now using the robot is kind of doing the same thing. It's like operating a car. You can see there are 7 different things, but you still can get it done. Now this is a robotic suite. I just like to play this video. These are the different components of the robotic Da Vinci system. We've got the console, we've got the patient cart, and we've also got the assistant television. Now these are the different instruments we've got for the robotic setup. Now these are how the instrument fingers actually work. I mean, more than that of the human hand, there's a 360-degree freedom of movement in these instruments. As you can see, these instruments will move in very different directions from that what our human hand can actually go to. Moving on, this is how the robot is draped, as was done in this surgery. It's pretty much a simple thing, but the only thing being that these drapes cost around $400, and this is the only cost limiting issues in this. Now, this bracket has been applied, only then can the robotic instruments be applied, and they will get the correct correlation and go on. This is a robotic OT complex. As you can see, there's a control. There's a patient car, patient. Right? This is how we wheel in the robot. It's usually a technician who's been working with us for the past 2 years since we have had this robot. And we have got very specific ways you can get this robot in. And usually when we started off, the docking took somewhere around 1.5 hours. Now we did an mini gastric bypass day before yesterday. It only took us 10 minutes to get the robot docked and get the surgery going. Now this is the console. As you've seen all the details in the today morning. You've got the energy sources on your right foot, you've got the camera, the switch of the instruments, and also the movements for the hand controls on the left hand. Here you can see this is the switch on and the switch off button. And this is here his name will be Dr. Arun Prasad. This is how you can customize his Mercedes-Benz like his robot. These are some more finer adjustments that you can do to the robot height and how to get the best look on your screen and have the most economically positioned robotic. These are the robotic twiddling arms. Sir says he plays a lot of video games, so do we, and anybody who's playing a lot of video games will have very much help in these things. Now, most of the patients we operate on, if we suggest them robotic surgery, what they actually ask us is whether the robot is going to do the surgery and we have to kind of assure them that it's not the robot who does the surgery, it's the surgeon who is directing the robot to do a much more advanced surgery. Now here you can see the multi-directional movement that can happen, which would never be possible in our open era and not possible at all in the laparoscopic era. Now ergonomics, this is one of the most impressive videos you would be having. Now on the right you can see we are doing a laparoscopic surgery. A laparoscopic surgery is tiring both for the assistant and the surgeon. As you can see, the movements are more at the elbow rather than at the wrist joint. But here you can see the surgeon is sitting, he can have his coffee, he can chat with everyone, he can receive his phone calls and still do the surgery while not getting tired. And now coming to the thymectomy. Now this is how we start with the patient. This is the left shoulder that's marked out. So we'll be first planning to put our ports in. The left shoulder. Now this is where our target organ is. Now we draw a straight line from the left shoulder to the target organ down to the intercostal spaces. So there's the line we've drawn. Now this line is extended up until the 4th or the 5th intercostal space in the anterior and the mid-axillary line. Now here is where we are going to put our first port. And the two other ports are going to be separated by around 8 to 10 centimeters. Doing thoracic surgery, we require only 2 arms because there's not enough space to use a third arm in this kind of a procedure. I'll just show a small video of the robotic thymectomy. Sit back and enjoy. This is our boss of the robotic controls going on. These are the different port placement, how we're going to do the port placement. Now here we can see, this is the right side of the chest we enter from. Here you can see the phrenic nerve. And here you can see the pericardium. So we'll be starting exactly at the angle of the pericardium and the phrenic nerve. We usually use a harmonic energy source to do all this. Usually there are small bleeders which might take place, usually there are none, but we don't really require anything more than the harmonic energy source to take care of them. We are going to free this of the aorta. The whole fat has to be lifted up so as to have an adequate clearance for the thymus. Here you can see the phrenic nerve, and here you can see the pericardium, and we're lifting out the fat from here. Now we'll be going up until the innominate vein in the superior portion. So the dissection is phrenic nerve, left phrenic nerve to right phrenic nerve, and innominate to the pericardium. So this is what we are going to dissect off to get the whole of the thymus. Here you can see we are combining both blunt dissection along with sharp dissection along with the harmonic. So this will give us a very good clearance. As you can see, we have entered the correct plane by having a blood vessel here. Here you can see the number 3. This is how the operation goes on the outside. The only thing being, there's a grey marker on the port on the robotic trocar, which has to be exactly at the abdomen. Now that is what prevents excessive movement of the arms and gives the most best mobility inside the patient. As you can see, everybody, the anesthetist is probably snoring off, and everybody can sit around and enjoy when the surgeon does the surgery. entering from the opposite side. We'll reach the opposite mediastinum and we're going to open that up and clear it up from the other side. We check on the completeness of the specimen. As I said earlier, phrenic nerve to phrenic nerve and omentate to the pericardium. This is how we get the whole specimen out. As you can see the opposite side, we can see the opposite pleura and the mediastinum. Check for bleeding and get the specimen out. Usually we are doing this for myasthenia patients, so we can prefer to take it out in a bag, or we can even take it out by the normal way by pulling it out. We just have to extend the incision a bit more. It's usually an 8 mm trocar. 8 mm trocar, so we have to get it up to 1.5 centimeter or not to get the incision out. Now, it's been a 4,000-year tradition since we have come from starting on surgery on small towns. Now we are going into the next era of going into robotic surgery. Just before I thank you all of and sign off, a bit of the victory dance we do after the surgery. Now, I don't think this movement would be possible anywhere else. This is after the surgery, this is a victory dance. I did the movement, so did the recording. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sukato. At the end, by showing this dance, you